Now, an hour of clarity for exhausted people of our nation mired in toxic partisanship. Left versus right. Us versus them. While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, welcome everyone to A Free Solution. I am so happy that you are giving me a small chunk of your afternoon. Here, Larry Sharp, host of The Sharp Way. Please follow me on The Sharp Way on, how about YouTube? That sounds good. Here I'm on WYSL, WENY, Elmira and Corning, The Patriot, and WACK in Newark, New York. As I always say, the cool Newark. Reach out to me, 585-346-3000. I want to bring up something that is specific to my city here in New York, but also to the state as a whole, and maybe a message to the entire country. New York Times reports, and this is not the first report, it's about the third or fourth one I've seen, that the New York Stock Exchange is considering leaving New York. Yes, the New York Stock Exchange is considering leaving New York. Now, some people say, well, that's not real. They're just trying to negotiate a better deal or something like that. But where do you think they consider going? Only one or two states, either to Florida, but probably more to Texas. Looking to go to Texas. What's the common denominator in Florida and Texas? No state income tax. Yeah, that's the common denominator. No state income tax. So now we've got no state income tax, and the New York Stock Exchange is considering leaving our state. Okay, you might say, well, Larry, come on. At this point, the governor is going to change his mind, or the mayor is going to change his mind. Well, what's their other option? What do they know? All they know is more taxes. Everything that they're talking about to repair our state is more taxes. And what they think they're going to do is, see, we're going to just tax the rich people. That'll get them. Because you know what rich people always do when they get taxed? Pay the taxes right away. No, they don't. They find ways to leave. That's what they do. They never go, oh, I got to pay more taxes? Okay, here you go. You got me. Never happens ever. And if I'm Texas, I'm Florida, if I was the governor of either state, what would I be doing right now? I'd be on the phone with every guy or gal who is in charge of the New York Stock Exchange, their board, their C-suite, everybody talking about the sweet deals I can give them to come to Dallas. The sweet deals I can get them to come to Dallas. Are they going to hear it? Yeah, they are. Because, see, Cuomo's smart. See, and so is de Blasio. They're only going to punish and tax the people who make over $400,000. That'll make all the poor people like us will get all the great services because we're robbing them. That'll happen. It's never happened. But what actually happened is those people are the people who run the stock exchange and other large organizations. Then they pack up and leave. And what was Cuomo's response? If you remember what his response was, his response was, it's not fair. These other states are wooing our people and drawing them to them. No, we are eagerly, happily leaving. No one's wooing us. We are rushing out as fast as we possibly can. But that was his issue. It wasn't fair. I want to tax these people. Why won't they just pay the extra money? I've decided I'm incompetent and they should pay for my incompetence. What's wrong with them? They're humans. And they pack up and they leave. And when the New York Stock Exchange leaves, guess how many jobs that us poor people lose? Thousands. And I'm not joking when I say that. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Because when the New York Stock Exchange leaves, not only do their elites leave, but all their workers leave. But not only do all their workers leave, but all the vendors who support the stock exchange leave. But not just that. You know how much technology goes into the stock exchange? I'm talking mega technology. All that technology leaves. All the service of those technical assets leaves. And then all those people around that leave. Thousands of jobs for us poor people who aren't making $400,000 a year, because we're all, I guess, plebes. Was it plebs? However you pronounce it. Peasants. How about that? All us peasants who don't make $400,000 a year, well, then we lose our jobs too. This is not how it's supposed to work. And you would think, well, we'll now change, our policies. No, we won't. Because all our governor knows is hit it with a stick. It doesn't work, hit it with 2 sticks. That doesn't work, hit it with a bigger stick. That doesn't work, hit it twice. That's all he knows. He can't imagine anything else. And when his heavy-handed tactics don't work, he then says, not fair. That's the problem. Not fair. If only it was fair, then I'd be able to beat you up and you would just shut up and give me what I tell you to. Then it would be fair. Nothing but problems that we can't solve except through more taxation, more violence, more regulations. You would think that what this COVID response would have taught us is that heavy-handed tactics make things worse. That if you actually begin to trust the people and give them some freedom, a little bit, allow a little bit. I mean, not everything. Come on, it's New York State. We live in a communist state. I get it. You're not going to give me everything. You can't treat me like a human being. We're communists. We can't do that. I got it. Okay. Move from communist to like socialist light. How about that? Give me that. I'm not asking for that much. I'm asking for socialist light. You can give me that, can't you? The answer? No. No. His Majesty, our Lord and Master, King Andrew Cuomo II, O hail the King, has deemed that you will pay what he tells you to pay, or you must leave his kingdom. And when he watched over 1.5 million, 2 million New Yorkers leave in the last 2 years, he wasn't unhappy. He didn't get upset. He doesn't even talk about it. We're going to lose 2 Congress people this year. He doesn't even talk about it. He's like, good, get out. The more of you who leave, the less that you can vote me out. I will retain my kingdom. I don't care how many people leave. New York Stock Exchange becomes the Dallas Stock Exchange. Bye. Bye. As long as I retain my kingdom. And I wish that wasn't true. I wish I was exaggerating. I wish there was hyperbole that I was using just to get you guys to watch the show. No, this is real. Look at it. Watch it. Try to find his new policies. Every one of his new policies are more money, more money. Get it from the federal government, more money. Get it from the actual people, more money. And if you're in New York State, you are watching your property taxes go up. And I want to be clear. You're watching your property taxes go up, heavily school tax, and your kids still aren't in school. Why are we paying for the buildings? Why are we paying for the administrators when basically our kids are doing Zoom calls and being taught by parents? Why are we paying for that? And more. More. The plans are for more of that. So now everything else is getting expensive and we're getting less services. I don't know if you know this, New York City is already putting out a warning that we may still be at distance learning next school year. Yes, September of this year, we may be staying still in distance learning. So now my daughters get 2 years of Zoom calls, and I'm paying how much? I don't want to tell you how much I pay in taxes for my home. And my home, for those of you who don't live in New York City, my property is 20 feet wide by 100 feet long. That's my entire property. You can't get to my postage stamp backyard. At least I have one. It's like 20 by 20. It's not even a backyard. I'd put a shed in it maybe. And you can't get to it without going through my house, because my houses touch on both sides. You know those houses I'm talking about. They touch on both sides. That's where I live. And the taxes I pay, if I told you, half of you would think I was lying. Another chunk of you would literally have a heart attack right now. Is there a solution? Of course there is. We can fix it. But it's not more taxes or letting people leave. It isn't. Larry Sharp, here on a free solution, 585-346-3000. I will grab your calls and your comments after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
When we come back, I'm going to play a quick promo clip, just FYI.
Knows how to beat the big insurance companies.
You're welcome.
Call me and I'll take them on so you can focus on your health and family.
Car crash, call Salino. Salino, call Salino. 888-2020.
Main Street, Rochester. A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Tends to be a little more conservative in upstate New York, and I think they don't know me as well.
Yeah, I got a feeling they know you pretty well. I think they do, Your Majesty. I think they do. Larry Sharp here on a free solution. Also host of the Sharpway Show. Please do me a favor. Follow me on Sharpway on Facebook. Here on WYSL in Avon, New York. WENY, ENI in Elmira Corning, The Patriot. And, of course, WACK in Newark, New York. 585-346-3000. There is a way of fixing this problem that we talked about. There is. It's about respecting individual people and trying to allow them to move forward. The idea that upstate New York doesn't know who our governor is after 10 years of being governor isn't upstate New York's fault if it's true, and it's not true. So either way, that is such a bogus statement. It almost makes me want to vomit. Let me grab a couple comments from the web if I could. So we got Sarah watching from West Virginia. Oh my God, thank you so much. Yes, absolutely. Yes, and Florida will love to have anybody that comes down there. I agree. I think Texas looks better because Texas is a hub, right? So I think Texas looks better, and they can also bring people from West Coast easier. So I think Texas is more attractive for them, but it could be Florida too. By the way, Goldman Sachs is someone moving down to Miami. Goldman Sachs. When New York City loses finance, and that's what's happening now, and it's been happening for years, but now it's happening even faster. New York City is just going to become a cultural icon, which is still amazing. It's going to become a tourist site, still amazing. And I still tell you this, when the COVID lockdowns are over, if ever, His Majesty has said they may last for another 2 years. His words, not mine. Please come visit New York City. It is a great place to visit. Not sure you want to live here, but visit. Oh my God, amazing. Such great culture. Please come visit. It'll still be that. But that financial powerhouse that used to run so much of it, it's going away. And it's almost like nobody cares. Almost like nobody cares. Adrian says, heard that this morning. We lost most big banks already. City needs tax revenue. Our state is committing financial suicide. Yes, financial suicide, which means suicide. Yes, absolutely right, 100%. And for those who don't know, Wall Street is the place where you can live now. Most of the banks have left Wall Street. They went to Park Avenue first, and then they now keep branches in Park Avenue, and many of them went actually to California, to Silicon Valley, which is where tech is. But now tech is leaving California because California's a disaster, and they're going to places like Texas and Wyoming, believe it or not. Yes, Wyoming. What else is in Wyoming that's in Texas and Florida? Oh, right. No state income tax. What a coincidence that is. Yeah. Wyoming's not a hub and doesn't have the infrastructure yet that Texas does. But if those companies keep moving, Wyoming will create that infrastructure and will become a hub. That's going to happen eventually. Right now, Texas still beats Wyoming when it comes to infrastructure and things of that sort. But it's already happening. So the banks are leaving already. You're totally right, Adrian. It's happening. It's terrible. Andrea says, no, they won't change their minds. They will double down, and the middle class gets it. Andrea, I wish you were wrong. I wish you were wrong. You're 100% right. They're going to double down until the state becomes filled with people who simply can't afford to leave. I mean, I want you to imagine that. It's going to become a state full of people who either work for the government directly or can't afford to leave. What kind of state is that going to become? And you see it happening more and more. And what's heartbreaking, for those of you who live in New York, how beautiful our state is. It's heartbreaking how beautiful our state is. If you don't live in New York, you don't understand that everything you could possibly want in a state is in our state. You want beaches, you want rivers, you want lakes, you want ocean. It's here. You want mountains, you want forest. It's here. You want farmland, you want small town, you want the biggest city in the nation. It's here. You want Broadway, you want sports, you want hunting. It's here. You want skiing, you want football. It's here. It doesn't matter what you want. It's in this state. It's in this state. We love our state. We just hate our government, and it's not getting better. So, yes. Dems tax and regulate companies out. I see that happening here without question. And they get angry. And then it's not fair. Then it's not fair. When the governor of Florida is asked, why were you not wearing a mask in the Super Bowl? His answer, how could I drink my beer? My friends in lockdown states have been saying I want to come to Florida. I'll say this again, and some of you don't get this. I know many of you are upset about lockdowns. Some of you think that lockdowns are the only answer, and that if not for lockdowns, I want people to die. And some people like lockdowns are stupid. They don't do anything. I think both are wrong. I think the answer is we, as communities, should be deciding our level of lockdown. That's what I think. Individual communities should be deciding, should I keep my elderly home? Should I not? Individuals should decide, should I go out? Should I not? What should I do in my store? That's what I believe is the right answer. Florida basically did that. Not 100%, but basically compared to us. Florida has more people, a higher percentage of elderly people, and of course, obviously more elderly people, yet less deaths than we do. And they have big cities too. They don't have New York. They don't have New York City. I get that. That's true. But they have big cities. Jacksonville, Orlando, Miami, Tampa. These are all big cities. Their metro areas are all over 1 million people each, all of them. They have plenty of cities. Metro areas are into millions. Nothing compared to us. Absolutely. John says, lived in Greece and Chicago, in Dallas now. You are not alone, obviously. 100% yes. So, Monaco solely exists because it's a tax haven of the insanely rich. People leave. Yeah, look, I don't want us to become Monaco. I get what you're saying, and I do. And that you're saying that as an extreme example relative to New York. I get it. We don't have to be a tax haven. We just don't want to be a tax meat grinder, right? I just don't want to be a tax meat grinder. The average New Yorker would be okay paying a reasonable amount of taxes if they were getting good services for it. And we always complain about taxes. But the biggest issue I think about is we are voting with our feet. We're packing up and leaving. And now companies that are born and raised in New York Stock Exchange has New York in its name. And it's going to pack up and leave. If you've gone too far. If I'm in a state where I just go, got to pay my taxes and rumble, but I'm not leaving. The tax burden may be a pain, but it isn't to a point of me leaving. Savvy governors, mayors, county executives, legislators should say, I'm going to push my tax burden underneath my opportunities so that people don't get so mad at me and stay in my state. And if I keep my tax burden far lower than my opportunities, people flock to my state, like, I don't know, Wyoming, Texas, and Florida, which keep growing while the rest of the states start struggling. It isn't rocket science. It's like basic math, not even Common Core math, just regular math. Absolutely. So the ones that can't afford to move, be stuck with the bill. Yes, absolutely. That's the bigger issue, right? That's the bigger issue. So, all right. Now COVID saw Fauci is wanting people to wear 2 masks instead of 1. Yeah, because that'll solve it. Just wear 2 masks. Remember, all we need is 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's it. Just 2 weeks. That was 11 months ago. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That was 11 months ago. I remember that. 2 weeks. We're fine. All good. No worries. And then first, Fauci said, masks? Don't wear them. That's for chumps. Don't do that. Now it's like, wear 2. Wear 3. Do that. So we went from no masks to 2 masks in a year. We went from 2 weeks to 2 years in a year. Who do we believe? Who do we believe? But there's worse. There's more stuff happening. People get canceled. People getting beat up. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. Larry Sharp on a free solution, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Hey, Mike, Larry, your mic is a lot hotter today. Are you using a different mic or did it get turned up? Yeah, if you look on the clean feed screen, You'll see it's hitting the red every so often. You're welcome.
Don't support violence.
Speak again. Yes, thank you.
Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for today. Of a little bit of light snow developing and then a little burst of lake.
Hey, by the way, Larry, our city of license is Avon, but make reference to WYSL in Rochester.
Okay, absolutely.
Yep, because we got the two FMs are actually up in Rochester, and the AM is licensed. Well, one FM's actually technically Spencerport, but all three are Rochester. Thanks.
WYSL.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Searching for a school with 5-day-a-week in-person instruction for students in grades pre-K through 12 that doesn't compromise your traditional values? Archangel School is the answer. With small class sizes and affordable tuition, your child will receive an education that's Common Core free, academically challenging, authentically Catholic, and faithfully patriotic. Come to Archangel School's open house Friday, March 12th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. or schedule a private tour at archangelschool.com or call 585-247-1112.
Take it, Tony. How's that, Zach? Terrific, man. Hold on. Hello.
Honey, we need help. The furnace won't turn on and it's freezing in here.
Oh, man, now I really got the blues.
What's a skinny, Zach?
The furnace is shot and that ain't hot. What am I going to do, brother?
Call Taylor. 500 Help. Their heating experts will fix things up and have you singing in no time.
500 Help. Now that's a hot number.
I think I'm really getting it, man.
Call Taylor 500 Help.
Eyes on Rochester is a full-service ophthalmology office, and we specialize in general ophthalmology, taking care of people from childhood to adult and seniors. We do general eye exams. We specialize in cataract surgery, corneal surgery, and disease, as well as LASIK surgery. We also have a full-service optical shop and contact lens fitting service.
Visit Eyes on Rochester at 1157 Fairport Road.
If you suffer from headaches, if you're tired of putting your life on hold, popping pills for headaches that just keep coming back, listen closely. Did you ever think this could be related to your bite? It's called TMJ, and Drs. Pogel and Sussman at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry can help. TMJ can cause everything from head and neck pain to ear congestion. If this sounds like you, call the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at 22-SMILE. Put an end to the pain. See the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry in the Grease Ridge Center today.
All-Star Custom Apparel and Design is your local source for outfitting your team, employees, or customers and updating your logo, detailing your vehicles, signs, drinkware, and more. We will get your name recognized. Call 585-623-4000 to see what All-Star can do for you.
Coming February 18th.
WYSL.
Hi, this is Senator Joe Robach. Please join me for real talk for real people right here on the WYSL stations.
Every Thursday at 1 p.m.
A free solution.
Hey everybody, I'm so glad that you are giving me a chunk of your afternoon. Larry Sharp back here on A Free Solution, also host of The Sharp Way. Log over to Facebook and follow me on Twitter because you love me. I love you. Here on WYSL Rochester, WENY Elmira in Corning, The Patriot, WACK in Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. Before the break, I was talking about the idea of pushing people out of New York State and pushing people out or companies out of New York State. But there's another type of pushing that we're doing as a culture. It's more on the left, but on the right too, but more on the left, clearly. And that is the idea of cancel culture. The one strike and you're out, or you just don't believe the way I believe, so I now must make sure that you can't make any money, that you can't have culture, you can't have a lifestyle, you can have nothing. And the one I'm bringing up, which is what many of you are thinking about, is the actor from The Mandalorian. Gina, I believe her name is Carano, but it may be Serrano. I don't actually know. I'm sorry, I don't know the actor very well at all, so I may be pronouncing it incorrectly. I believe it's Gina Carano. So she was basically let go because of tweets. Now, you could say, Larry, private company, they can fire who they want to fire, hire who they want to hire. In theory, I'm with you. In practice, not so much. What I mean by that is, do we really have a world to where anyone can fire anybody whenever they want? If that was really our world, then maybe I would buy that. I mean, then there's an argument at least. But that's not where we are. It is things that are not PC get you fired. And while you might say, but Larry, why in the world would I want to support somebody who is saying horrible things? Well, here is when I would say it's okay. And in my opinion, I'm not saying legally, in my opinion, it is okay. If the things that the actor or employee are saying are affecting your business, meaning if, I walk into a bakery and the person in the bakery starts yelling about how the Holocaust isn't real. Okay, that's going to affect the bakery's business. I get it. Fire the person, 100%. Get rid of them. They're talking about the Holocaust when someone's trying to buy cookies. Makes total sense. Get them out of there. That's affecting your business directly. I got it. In my view, a totally just firing, in my view. But what if the person says that on Twitter and doesn't affect your business at all? At all. Is it really right to do? You can. I'm not saying legally. Not at all. I'm saying, but it's not affecting your business. If you find now people walk into your bakery and go, you got Nazis in your business, I don't want to, buy cookies here. All right, fire them. Affecting your business. Makes total sense. I guess my question is, in the case of Disney, were people saying I'm not going to watch Disney products anymore? Were they saying, that's the end, I hate Disney? If they were, makes sense. I didn't see that. I hadn't heard of her. I don't mean to be mean or cruel, but I literally hadn't heard of her. So I don't think that was happening. I'm happy to be proven wrong. But now there's a cultural issue. That wasn't a local issue. I want to go to a cultural issue. And by the way, she didn't say the Holocaust didn't happen. I made it up. I used hyperbole on purpose to make a point. She never said that. That was me saying it to make a point. But what if you have someone who has views that you think are wrong or bad or you disagree with? So you should ensure they can't get a job anymore? You should publicly denounce them, call them out, as I hear, so you can be self-righteous? Okay, but I would ask you, of the views that Miss Carano had, did they all of a sudden go away?
Craig from Clinton, New York.
Is she all of a sudden now a Democrat? Is that what happened? Oh, you guys canceled me? I can't get a job anymore? I'm a Democrat. Is that what happened? No. If anything, you made her a hero in her own world. If anything, she's going to double down on her beliefs that you hate or don't like. So not only have you been cruel and mean, but you've been unnecessarily self-righteous, and you haven't stopped the behavior that you like. I'm sorry, that you don't like. If you don't like that behavior, whatever it is, doing that doesn't help. It makes it worse. It's bad on every level, and on a large scale and on a small. This is not good for our culture. But this idea of throwing people out that you don't like or that you don't know or that you don't agree with, this is a common problem now, and it's making our division worse. I'm going to have a call if I could. I have Craig from Clinton. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Larry?
What's going on, brother?
Well, just calling about I don't even know her name. I didn't know about her until this morning either.
Yes.
Which is another thing. It's like I'd never heard of this woman spouting these horrible things on Twitter until they made it a thing, right?
Yes.
So I feel like by trying to control the situation, they blow everything out of proportion, and then they run away and they say, "Look at what a great job we did." Meanwhile, Alex Jones is on Parler talking the same nonsense, and everybody is over there with him, and I'm over here in my bubble in California. And look, I fixed the problem. Well, no, it's just now nobody knows what the problem is.
Well, that's my point, right? I maybe I'm wrong, and it's possible that there were people who were complaining and saying, "I'm not gonna whatever pick up Disney Plus or something."
The woke mob did go, and they're like, boycott Disney, blah blah blah. So I feel like most companies now, they try to get ahead of that. They just say, "Well, we know this is how it works. This is what happens on Twitter, so we're just gonna, before it blows up, we're being proactive. See, we got rid of the racists."
Yeah, but the problem with that, I hear you, and I think you're right. That's what happened. But the problem with that is now you're validating the mob. I would rather say, guys, do you like The Mandalorian? Then watch it. If you don't, tell us why you don't like it. We'll try to make a better show. Period. That's what they should be saying. And then when people get mad and go, "Oh, but you have this woman here who we don't like her political views," the response should be, "I got it. Tell us how we can make a better show, or please keep watching The Mandalorian." I mean, that should be the response. Now, if they actually explodes to become a point where it's affecting your business model, okay, then you act. But why would you act proactively and now validate the mob? Now they go to the next person. If she's really that bad of a person, and to be forward, I don't know her at all. I never heard of her until this happened. But if she is this horrible monster they say she is, then won't it come out over time? And won't they be able to deal with it? And if she's not this horrible monster, or people don't care enough, keep watching TV. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
Greg?
No, I think you've seen this because I'll use my dad as an example. He loves action films. He loves movies, and he'll always complain about someone having a political opinion, but he still watches the film, right? So
Yes.
I feel like conservatives have been doing this forever. They're like, "Oh, those damn liberals in Hollywood," but then they go and they watch the damn liberals in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm totally fine with that because I don't want to judge liberals in Hollywood by them being liberal. I want to judge them by Are they talented making shows that I want to watch, or music, or whatever is the thing they're making? Judge them by that. I'm with you. I mean, there was a South Park on this, and they were teasing doing a parody of oh my God, who is the guy from Road Warrior? I've forgotten the guy's name. Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
They were doing a thing on Mel Gibson, and they were talking about, oh, this guy's nuts, but damn, he's a good storyteller. So like they still want to hire him anyway because the guy makes good movies. So like, he's nutty, but all right, we're gonna hire him anyway. And I think while that was a parody on South Park, there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to the black and white issue. Everyone wants to say we're not going to tolerate this, blah blah blah. We're not going to give a platform to racists, all this stuff. Well, first of all, I don't think she's a racist, so that right there is like that's a non sequitur. And also, yeah, I think it's on a case by case. You got to look at it. You know, you can't just say we are not going to tolerate this and we will not give a platform because this person has abhorrent views. You know, I think it's
yeah, but
again.
This goes back to what we talked about in New York in the first segment. When you don't give her this platform, she just gets another. It's not like, oh, now she's gone forever. She just gets another platform. In fact, now she's a hero. And it made things worse.
Yeah, I agree.
The New York Stock Exchange becomes the Dallas Stock Exchange, and now the Mandalorian becomes the Mandalorian on Gad. That's all that happens. All right, thank you so much for the call, Greg. I appreciate it. Larry Sharp here on a free solution, 585-346-3000. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, He is my refuge and my fortress, for He will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease.
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36.
So when we come back, I'm going to do another one of those Cuomo clips.
And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, SimpleTech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Free solution.
If you are upset by what we have done, be upset at me. County executive did not do this. The village mayor did not do this. The city mayor did not make these decisions. I made these decisions. It's not your local elected officials. I know they caused disruption. I know people are upset. I know businesses will be hurt by this.
But still did it. Yes, he says all these things and then says it's not fair when they backfire in his face. That is our Lord Master, His Majesty, King Andrew Cuomo II, all hail the king, yet again failing. Ladder Shop here on a free solution, WYSL, WENY, Elmira, Corning the Patriot, and WACK in Newark, ACK in Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. Before the break, we would talk about the idea of pushing people out and then acting like you've done something, acting like you've achieved something so great because I've yelled and screamed and pushed people out. That's not the answer. We have more and more division in our country, more and more division in our state, even in our city, we have division. Throwing people out isn't the answer. If the actor Carano, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Carano, if she is, differently opinionated, whatever that might be, I don't believe she's a horrible racist. I don't know her, but from what I've seen, I don't feel like she is. Wouldn't it be better if we were talking to her? Wouldn't it be better if she was hearing other people's views and maybe swayed to whatever side you would like her to be? If you want her to not think the way she thinks because you don't like it, okay, you have every right to believe she's wrong or off or whatever. All good. But wouldn't you want to talk to her and have more people who think your way with her so she can then change her views closer to yours? Or you could just be self-righteous, feel good about yourself, and make things worse. Brian asks, is there ever a time to be self-righteous? Not for self-righteousness' sake. You want to be self-righteous if the outcome is what you want. If you're going to be self-righteous and then others will be affected or moved by it and act in the way that you want them to act or be moved in the way that you want them to move, yes. Usually, though, they don't. Usually when you're self-righteous, you're basically virtue signaling to the people who already think like you and triggering those who don't think like you. That's what usually happens. But there are times when you can be semi-self-righteous or even self-righteous and in effect both. And people who are able to do that are people like Gandhi. Gandhi was able to be self-righteous here or there. He was often not as self-righteous, but he could be. But in his case, his two sides were either Indians and British, and often he could get both together, or at least the same side-ish, move closer, or internally, Muslims and Hindus. So in his world, obviously we have Democrats, Republicans. We don't have that same dynamic, but the concept's the same. If you can be self-righteous and still bring people together, sure. It just so rarely works. I hope that answers your question. So yes. Donna says she was only making comparison to what's going on now. And this is a point, I like you bring this up, Donna. We have a world now that there are certain things you simply just can't talk about. And that's a problem, right? But you can only talk about it like if you're that person. So you can only talk about Black history if you're Black. You can only talk about women's rights if you're a woman. You can only talk about gay rights if you're gay. Only talk about the Holocaust if you're Jewish. Now, I'm not saying that's a rule or a law. Of course not. I'm saying that very often culturally we feel that, right? Very often culturally, what does Donna know about, father's rights? She's not a father. Well, you might know a whole lot about it. I have no idea your background, Donna. I'm just saying, but you might know a whole lot about it. And maybe you're an expert in it and you have lots of things to say. And maybe you know nothing about it at all. But guess what? You still get to have an opinion. Either way, even if you are the expert in it or know nothing about it, you get to have an opinion. Now, if you know nothing about it, I should have lower weight to your opinion. Should. I don't have to. I can go, I love Donna. Whatever she says, I'm in. But this is the world that we're not in. We're in the world that I look at your surface and then decide if you're valuable or not. I listen for the virtue signaling to decide if you're on my side right now. And you'll find that on both sides of the aisle here, right? Democrats, as they're talking about things, they've got to say things as they're talking about a law or a bill or whatever. They start by saying things like, and we have to make sure we deal with the brown and black and poor communities. They start that way on many things. Oh, okay. He's on my side, so I'm good. You'll find many Republicans in New York State start every sentence with something like, I'll start their talk with something like, I kneel for the, for the cross, and I stand for the flag, or something like that, some type of thing, virtue signaling. So now you go, oh, okay, got it. I can now listen to this guy. And I think that's where we are now. Thank you for bringing that up, Don. It's a valid point, and I really appreciate it. There was a mob screaming about the Dallas Mavericks not having the national anthem before games. Now, this is another valid point. Thank you for this. Another valid point here. Should there be a national anthem before games? The Dallas Mavericks should decide. Same thing. Are people now saying, no, I'm not going to go to basketball games? If they're not going to basketball games or not buying the Maverick jerseys or whatever is the way they make their merch dollars, maybe you should put the national anthem back, right? I'll say the same thing as I mentioned with the employee. Is it affecting your business model? It's not. Don't have the national anthem. Private company. Do what you want. If people say, I don't like it, I'm not going, you might want to put the national anthem on. That's all I'm saying. You might want to. Let the mob scream. They have every right to think you're bad, and you have every right to not have the national anthem if you don't want to. I don't have a problem with that at all. I go both ways. You get to do what you want. Business model is what bothers me, and then let the people decide on what they want. So the Remington Gun Company from, is that Ilion? An hour from where I live, was forced to move down south because of Cuomo's enforcement laws. I know I think they kept some people in New York State. They didn't lose all of them. They kept some of them. But I think like 2,000 jobs left the state. I think they went to South Carolina, if not mistaken. Maybe. But about 2,000 jobs went away. Absolutely. Olean as a major company now moving to Germany. Yes, it's happening all over New York State. And again, it's because we're getting the rich people. That's what we're doing. But then they leave. And they take all the us poor people jobs, right? And New York State decided that it's 400,000 and more is rich. You make more than that, you're rich. Less than that, you're a poor slob like me. That's it. So here we go. Terry asks, are you in California now? No, I'm still in New York City. Absolutely, I appreciate that. By the way, the high in Orlando is 84 today. My pool is 4 weeks from being warm enough, just in case you're considering. Thank you for rubbing it in. I have snow I'll be shoveling today. Thanks for nothing. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for today, for giving me a piece of your afternoon. I hope me talking about New York, for those of you in Newark, was kind of enlightening and fun. And those of you outside, I hope it showed you that what happens in New York comes to you. Larry Sharp, A Free Solution. Follow A Free Solution on Facebook and YouTube so you can watch us every day of the week. Have a good one.